Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. Full time at Loftus, 34 points to 16. The Bulls have beaten Ulster by a bonus point thanks to a very impressive second half showing from the men from Pretoria, who in the first half looked like a shadow of the side that we have been seeing in the last few weeks. However, halftime talk obviously came and was the halftime talk that they needed, because in the second half they managed to really switch it up. And Ulster, I think, probably guilty of not being able to really make best use of their opportunities. You know, in the first half, the Bulls conceded penalty after penalty, and Ulster and Nathan Doak were just hammering them for it. And had Nathan Doak actually gotten that last penalty on the brink of half-time, would have headed into half-time 12 points to 3 up. In a half where the Bulls, I think, only had one passage of play with more than sort of 6 phases. It was a very disjointed Bulls side in the first half. You couldn't really get hold of the ball. They were playing in the wrong areas, and they were kind of being outplayed by Ulster, who were just not making mistakes, just doing the basics right, really. They didn't actually have to work too hard for their points. However, in the second half, we did see a better Bulls side. We saw them with more ball in hand. We saw them running a lot more and looking a lot more dangerous. And, the try from Marcel Katsir in the 43rd minute, that kind of sort of set it up, because it went try in the 43rd minute, penalty in the 52nd minute, Madosh Tumber with a great try at the back of a good scrum in the 55th minute, and all of a sudden the Bulls were in the driving seat. The yellow card didn't help against Kieran Treadwell, because it came just after Ulster had actually scored. Luke Marshall had gone over. He played very well throughout the game. And then just after that, Kieran Treadwell, guilty of foul play. And again, it's a difficult one, because you want to make sure the game is safe. And there was shoulder-on-head contact. For me, it kind of hits the ball and moves up. So by the letter of the law, probably is a yellow card. But we just seen too many cards in the game at the moment, which for me is a bit frustrating. But he got a yellow card in the 65th minute. From that penalty, the Bulls then kicked towards the corner, mauled straight over. Jan Kovaluk try in the 66th minute. And that was pretty much the game. Marcel Katsir then got his marching orders in the 73rd minute. I think probably a fairer yellow card, because, the tackle was being made. He went in very high. It was direct shoulder to head contact. In fact, if it was a red, I could have understood that as well. I think Marcel Katsir, he even actually told the crowd, a crowd of 25,000 strong, by the way. It was really good to see that, to calm down basically, because it probably was a yellow card. And then Ulster desperately trying to look for a way back into the game through a very 50-50 pass, and Curtly Orange then intercepts it and runs in the bonus point try in the 75th minute. So if you look at some of the stats, it kind of shows you that the score doesn't necessarily reflect the game. Ulster was 61% of possession, and you couldn't really do much about them. For me, they looked very lateral on attack, and they didn't really have that X factor to manage to get beyond the gain line. The Bulls beat 27 defenders to Ulster's 10. One clean break apiece. Ulster conceding 15 turnovers, Bulls conceding just 9. Bulls with far more offloads, for example. Now, missed tackles, for example, the Bulls missed 18, and made 134. Ulster missed 15 of 85, of 100 basically. So Bulls' defensive effort was pretty good. But again, I just thought that the Ulster attack was a little bit toothless. I thought that they retained possession pretty well, but they couldn't do much with it. Whereas the Bulls, when they had ball in hand, were far more efficient with it. Set plays, I thought that lineouts were a little bit sloppy on both sides. 2 lineouts lost by the Bulls, 3 by Ulster. The scrums were pretty 50-50. There wasn't, I think there was maybe one scrum where I thought the Bulls really did dominate them. But discipline-wise, the Bulls were very poor. 14 penalties conceded, but I think about 10 of those were in the first half. So once they had sorted that out, they really sort of started to dominate. If we look at some big defensive efforts, Johan Kovaluk, Ruan Nokia, Albert Lowe with 12 tackles. Thought Marcel Katsir played pretty well. Thought Dwayne Vermeulen looked very good. And I think there was definitely a bit of a time where they really did miss him when he actually went off. So a very good match to watch. And I think the most important thing was to see a lot of Bulls fans in the stadium, because that's what we want to see. So the 25 Rand a ticket did seem to work to a certain degree. And they got what they paid for. They got a match that was pretty close. Maybe wasn't the best rugby. You wouldn't call it champagne rugby, but it was entertaining enough. Let me know what you thought about the game down in the comments below. Please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven, and I'll chat to you soon.